I'm teaching you how to own your happy 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And also online, you can check us out at ownyourhappy.com. We are going to be talking about the fail of the week. The fail of the week. It is important for people to see and to understand. I mean, we all know we make mistakes, things happen. But in the sense of authenticity, and just to keep it real, because I know when we started talking and when I've been talking this year about New Year's intentions, New Year goals, it's along the way to you becoming greater than what you are. Things are going to happen, but it's all about how you respond to those things. And that's what we do not have enough of. There's too much. I made six figures in 72 hours, and people do things like this, but they don't talk about the things that happen. They don't talk about all the mishaps. Sure, people find love in no time flat, but they don't talk about all the mistakes that happen or talk about just the reality of it. It's not that we talk about problems, but it's looking at the real. So, being in the spirit of making sure that I'm always leading by example, it's breaking down my fail of the week. My fail of the week comes, let me tell you what happened, let me tell you how I responded, and kind of give some reasoning. So, I have Happy Meals. It is my fitness, it's my weight loss program. Very successful, do really good with it, and I'm having a really interesting time putting the program together, really getting out in the market. And I love this because it's been over what, almost 20 years of my life kind of poured into this. It's the reason why I can be 40 years old and be really proud of my body because I'm big on a bedroom body. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just trying to say that I put a lot of love into this. And so when I created Happy Meals, it was great. What's your happy, own your happy, all these great things. It's the perfect connection. But guess what happened? I got some great advice. A huge shout out to Tony Gretmeyer and James Klein. Two guys I respect so much. Tony G, I respect him on a whole nother level because 10 years ago, 12 years ago, he had this podcast, The Entrepreneur Unplugged. And when I first started getting into entrepreneurship, I listened to him, and oddly enough, how life came together. He got me through some tough times just by having his podcast and let me know I wasn't alone. Just see him as such a mentor now. He had told me that I should consider changing the name of Happy Meals. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But I never did anything with it. And then this past weekend, I was in Vegas and I'm having a great time. I'm just networking and we're just doing this great thing and having so much fun. And then James told me, hey, you need to change Happy Meals. And then as lightning would strike, both of them said, you need to change Happy Meals. And why is this a fail of the week? Because I did not move on it initially. Now, what bothers me about that, why I consider it a fail, is because I typically get stuff done pretty quick. I pride myself on moving really quickly, but I had it. And when I sat back and thought about this week, I realized that I had become so married to how this came to be. I became so married to what I just thought it needs to be this exact way. And my expectation was so fixated on that specific way of coming to fruition, I got locked into things. And the easiest solution here is to change the name. Already got the name. Already got the name. I'm about to make an announcement on social media about that next week. But these things can happen when you're in a pursuit of getting what you want, and this is the positive of it. That's why that big fail of the week is a big nuance of the week, or the nuance of the life of my life, I guess, because seeing your dream come out there, and it is a dream of mine, because of the way to my family, we might not make the best health choices. And, with Happy Meals, it's about breaking a lot of things that I had to go through that I don't want to ever have my son deal with. And I got so connected and married to that and stuck on that and fixated on that. And have you ever in your life become so focused specifically on what you want it to be that you never made adjustments to it? That you never decided, hey, well, maybe I could pivot, maybe I could adjust. The goal still stays the same, but maybe aesthetically, a name needs to change. Maybe aesthetically, maybe you got to move a little different. Maybe you have to be more consider what people have to say. But when you are in pursuit of things, you need to be flexible. You need to be so focused on going after many times, not all the time, I want to make sure I don't speak in absolutes. Many times, whatever you're pursuing, you need to have some level of just, free flowing flexibility, kind of like Bruce Lee, be like the water. And what that can do is it opens you up to more opportunities so you don't get stuck. And I was stuck. And for anybody who's pursuing some things and you're trying to figure out, well, what's going on, maybe you could be stuck, or maybe you could be frustrated, maybe you could be feeling whatever, I don't know, or lack of progress by any stretch. Maybe it could be that maybe you need to have some more flexibility with things. Maybe that, I always use as a metaphor, oftentimes we pray and we beg and we plead to our creator, God, Yahweh, Muhammad, however you believe. I'm not here to debate that, discuss that, argue with that, present that. But whoever your creator is, you beg for a cake. And then what the creator gives you is a bowl, it gives you flour, it gives you water, it gives you cocoa, it gives you a spoon, cup, and an oven, all that stuff to make a cake. And then we complain about it. You still have the cake, you just have to approach it differently. Now you got to make it. Now you got to change the name. Now you got to change the way you dress. Now you got to not, be so kind of care or maybe concerned about what others might say as you move forward. It's still a cake, but you have to adjust the steps that you get there because the end goal is a cake and you will still have a cake. You just got to mix the ingredients together versus it being ready for your DFY, so to speak. So be flexible is what I'm getting at. I'm not saying your goal changes, but maybe you still get the goal. And in this case, I just changed the name. It's a name. Who really flipping cares? If it's about helpful, it's about making impact, it's about teaching and changing people. That's what the big goal is. Not necessarily the mode or the vehicle that it gets there sometimes. That's the goal. When you're baking the cake, the goal is the cake. Guess what? Sometimes you're not going to have all the ingredients. Sometimes you got to mix stuff up. Sometimes you got to be really freaking creative, but you're still going to get a cake. Be flexible. I appreciate that, preach. I appreciate you saying that. Stay flexible. As all of us are approaching a different season, it's February 2nd. Happy Groundhog Day. And, I can't even say that. No. But as we're approaching this February and we're approaching March, April, May, stay adjusting and looking for the possibilities of what you might have to pivot or adjust to, what you might have to completely stop, pull back, and go in a different direction. But the goal still stays the same. If maybe all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, I'm going to try Happy Meals to get myself in a better shape. And then you recognize, well, guess what? How can I approach this in a way where I won't be 100%, but I can do 50%? And then sometimes instead of us saying like, no, I can't, I got to be 100% on it, we just don't do it. My suggestions: be flexible. How can I get 50%? How can I get 80%? How can I get 20%? What can you do to keep moving yourself forward? Because when you stop being flexible in many times, in many cases, many places, many circumstances, once you stop being flexible, that's weird. Once you stop being flexible, it can halt your progress. So stay open to the fact that things might need to adjust. Things might need to shift. The song could change while you're dancing. You could argue with the DJ, or you could just start doing a Macarena if that's what's playing. If you're doing an electric slide and you're having some fun and boom, and they want to change it and you got to do the Dougie, do the Dougie. But just roll with these things. Stay flexible, stay open, but stay focused on your goal no matter what, because the more you can pivot and adjust, the more likely you can get there. Creativity is a part of the process. I'll holler at you all tomorrow. I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Be sure to head to ownyourhappy.com so you can check it out and see some great things we have coming out that we have to do. We're having some great site updates, and you'll be seeing those live, as well as an announcement about the name change of Happy Meals. Almost said the real name. I'm not too sure about it yet. I'm still doing a couple things legally. But I'll holler at you tomorrow. Peace. You got questions? Let me know.